Hello, War Thunder, fellow Gaijinites. Yesterday marked the end of this third season of the Battle Passes Duckwalk Challenge. Naval Battles challenge to destroy 30 enemy vehicles using coastal vessel guns of at least 75mm. I couldn't help but notice there was a lot of moaning and groaning in the community about this challenge, and felt like it would be valuable to share what I think were the most vocal complaints and just a few of my own thoughts. So let's start with some context. Naval battles aren't popular within War Thunder's community. All you have to do to see this is visit any naval post in the forums or servers and you'll find a plethora of negative comments. I'm not going to repeat them here. Dev blogs for new naval vessels are a great example. Of all the things we want Gaijin to add and change, naval does seem to be the last on everybody's list. If you want to see a mathematic breakdown of naval's unpopularity, all you have to do is look at the polls. Now, to their credit, the developers have tried to make naval battles more attractive by adding new vehicles, separating the coastal and blue water trees, and changing the economy. They have also incorporated naval into battle pass seasons with challenges like Duckwalk, and reward vehicles like level 30's Soviet light cruiser Voroshilov. In addition to Duckwalk, Season 3 has Power Stairs, which asks for 30 kills using a cruiser or battleship. Hello, Voroshilov. And Hercules Hold, which requires another 30 naval kills. When you consider this, and the reality, in my opinion, that in the future we'll see more and more naval vessels added in comparison to tanks and aircraft, and it's safe to say that naval combat will have a greater place in War Thunder in the long term. So what's the deal with Duckwalk, and why have so many people gotten upset? Well, I think I can condense 99.99% of complaints down to one or two. First, there simply aren't enough people playing. Even in the last few days, the last few hours before the challenge ended, it wasn't uncommon for Matchmaker to take 2, 3, even 4 minutes to find a match, in realistic or arcade. The wait times were so long, in fact, I had to resort to playing arcade mode, which is god-awful for me as a realism elitist. Combine that with the fact that many people haven't invested the time, experience, and silver lions into coastal vessels, especially given their cost and limited role in higher-tier games, and the challenge looks like a gimmick to get die-hard grinders to buy a 4,000-plus Golden Eagle premium, like the Soviet MBK, which probably consisted of half the vessels I came across, and was, by the way, not the best vessel to complete the challenge with. I mean, look at this SF-40 with its 4 88mm guns compared to 276s. The real kicker, on top of the long wait times and having to buy a premium, was that bot kills didn't count. You got 5 kills in a match. Psych! Only one of them actually counted toward the challenge because the other 4 were bots. Back to the hangar for 5 minutes of waiting for the next match. The second reason is inexperience. Now, there are 2 kinds of experience in War Thunder. The first is obvious, it's player experience. That's your map knowledge, knowledge of your vehicle, knowledge of the enemy vehicles, the meta, the strategy, etc., etc., etc. People who haven't passed Naval's steep learning curve and gotten into the groove of aiming, positioning, and ship management didn't have the best time going against the regulars. The second kind of experience is that belonging to the crew. And now don't get me wrong, crew experience is vitally important in both ground and air battles, but I'd like to argue there's no mode where it makes a bigger impact on gameplay than in naval. Measuring long distances, even in these smaller coastal maps, reloading speeds, viability of the secondary weapons, damage control, and all-important crew survivability made all the difference between completing Duckwalk in 3 to 4 games or 12 to 15. In fact, I attribute the massacre I inflicted on this enemy team purely due to their lack of experienced crew. Thankfully, Gaijin has a solution to all that. It's called accelerated crew training. But something about dishing out another 1,000 Golden Eagles on top of what you already spent on a glorified fishing boat didn't sit too well with the penny pinchers, and I can't blame them. Alright, so I've done my best to explain the difficulties some endured trying to complete the challenge. I'd like to share my own thoughts. Honestly, I'm happy to say Duck Walk wasn't too hard for me to complete apart from long wait times and the prevalence of bots. I was also annoyed with all of the premiums out there, but I really shouldn't judge because I have the premiums as well. I was able to complete it in just 3 games using the SF-40 Heavy. It's a great vessel. There aren't many coastal vessels that can match its firepower or survivability. And those that do, like the Lubeck, have a higher BR, a higher rank where matchmaking would take longer, and the kills would be more challenging due to them being destroyers and light cruisers. My advice to those of you who plan to complete the other naval challenges this season is to start playing naval now. Play 1 or 2 games a night, make it part of your daily routine of War Thunder. Don't laugh at me for talking about a routine of War Thunder. If you're not a casual, you've got a routine. If you've purchased a premium coastal vessel for Duck Walk, make the most of your investment by continuing to grind that nation's coastal tree. I would say focus on fast boats armed with decent torpedoes so you can engage destroyers, cruisers, and if you're feeling lucky, the battleships. And with enough primary firepower to counter enemy coastal vessels and pesky aircraft hoping for an easy kill. Rely on your speed and stealth to survive, get some kills, and of course the game-winning capture points, which, by the way, the destroyers, cruisers, and battleships will be too slow and too busy shooting each other to bother capturing. That'll help you level up your crews and learn to ride the wave that is naval battle's learning curve. That'll carry you through Hercules Hold, and you can use the Voroshilov to complete Power Stairs Challenge. Most of all, guys, and this is a little bit cheesy, don't forget to have fun. This match that we're in right here was a ton of fun. I wish I would have recorded it live. I always kick myself for not having game record always on, because every time game record's not on, I always get a great game like this. Right now we're actually engaging another SF-40 Heavy, and as you can see here, I'm just lobbing out rounds, trying to turn the raft. This thing is a barge. I'm trying to turn it so I can get all 3 guns, if I'm lucky all 4 guns on target at the same time. These American and I think British PT boats, they just get torn to bits by those 88s, and it's so satisfying. The SF-40 was designed for anti-aircraft purposes, and it you know, doesn't do too well in that role in War Thunder. The 88s do have a time fuse shell, but you obviously weren't going to be bringing that to complete the challenge, and it's not viable to be using in matches otherwise. It has 2 20mm on top there to engage planes, and because I do have max crew, and I did give this thing elite status, it does a pretty good job at taking out planes. And I do get a few planes during this match. Let's see, we're already at 11 kills. And we're not really even bothering with the capture points, and we will lose this match because of the capture points. I think if my team were a little bit better, spending a little less time in aircraft, especially when there are so many anti-aircraft barges, all these SF-40 lights and heavies sailing around, we would have probably been able to win. That being said, I do end up spawning in the JU, which is a fantastic bomber for naval, because it's fast and is twin engine and can carry 4 250-kilogram bombs. It also has the tail gunners too. It's also great for ground RB, and I was thinking I should probably make a video using the JU in ground RB. Usually I'm using the Ju-88C to drop those 1,800-kilogram bombs, but I think it's been about time for me to haul out the junior JU. We're trying to take out this PT boat. Someone else gets in. Back to the AFD-1. I saw a lot of people using the AFDs, and they definitely have a lot of firepower on them. It's just an issue of where that firepower is and how much you can actually get on target. I believe it has two 105mm guns, and those would be the guns that you'd be using to complete this challenge with. The reason why the AFD is probably so popular is because in any other situation, you could use its heavy autocannon armament, the heavy flak armament, the quad 40s and the 37s to knock out small boats. But here, they just aren't going to help you. We did get killed, so we're going to spawn. And definitely going to take advantage of Arcade's bomb site there on the ocean for us. The next coming minutes. We won't survive our flight, but that's okay. We're already at 12 naval vessels destroyed and 2 aircraft. And we did die twice, so I mean it's not like we're being godly here, but 14 kills so far. That's not bad. I'm pretty proud of it. I was really hoping that my squad mate, the Yak, would absorb some of this anti-aircraft fire for me, but it doesn't look like he's going to do that, and the JU is going to pull off. The F-6F is going down, and we're going to take a pass at this gunboat. Can't tell what it is. Looks like a German one. Yep, R301. Drop on him, and we'll go to the AFD, drop another one of the bombs, maybe 2 of them, save the last one for the MZ, and knock him out as well. Nice. And we're going down. I was really hoping that my plane would be able to put the fire out. I remember cutting my throttle down to 0 and turning the engine off, but I just couldn't do it in time, or maybe it was the arcade game mechanics. I'm not too familiar with arcade mechanics. I know that they're a little wonky, and I choose not to play arcade. Do one more pass with the JU, and that'll be the end of the game. As you can see, I'm just flipping through the different views. The JU also does have the bomb sight, which is a nice addition. And the cockpit has great visibility if you want to take it into air sim, or if you want to play air realistic with no heads-up display, which is always a lot of fun and even more pain. So once we're about 1 kilometer out from them is when I dive. I'm not going to go after the fast guys, obviously. I'm going to go after the motor torpedo boat and the gunboat again. And I'm pretty sure Flak's going to take me down if I remember correctly. That Flak is doing his work. I remember sending him a message. Absorb the flak for me, absorb the flak. Now let's pitch down, line it up. Gosh, I love that arcade bomb site. And bingo, right on the citadel, if a barge has a citadel. Try to put the fire out again, but it is too late, and the game has ended anyway. Alright guys, thank you very, very much for watching. It's been quite some time with you. I do appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Thanks.